Welcome to Flowgy. In this video, we will show how to eliminate paranasal sinuses. Paranasal sinuses are air cavities that are situated on each side of the nose in the upper area, as shown here. We want to remove them because they do not have any influence on the airflow in the nose. The elimination of the paranasal air will optimize the results we get from the CFD solver. We do this to ensure that only air which is actually affecting the nasal airflow will be processed by the CFD. The best view to work in is the actual view, which is already selected. After that, we go to our workflow area, indicated by the rocket. We click it, and then we go to the column 3 and click on the Define Bounding Box button, which is here. After we clicked our bounding box button, it brings us directly to the actual view of our CT scan, and we can start to define the parameters of our selection. As we can see, now we have everything in black and white, instead of different gray tones. With the sliders on the left, we can define our bounding box, which ideally should be a cube. So here we can get it from the right side. This is the vertical selection. This one from the left side, also vertical selection. And these two are the horizontal selections. And then our bounding box should look like something like this. Also, we have these two sliders here. With these two sliders, we can define in what range our bounding box will be active. So, for example, we can see that before this picture, we don't even have any paranasal sinus here. So this is starting here. So we can select our range from 312, for example, like images, to round about 250. This is our image range. The less images we have, the less processing time we also have later. I will just adjust our bounding box a little bit better and make this down here and there. Also, it is not that important if you cut a sinew here. It will still be processed afterwards. After we have set an area that we want as our bounding box, we go back to our workflow page and select the Recognize button. The processing time depends on the size of our selection and the size of the CT scan. Here we already have our selection and our bounding view. Here we can select the areas we want to delete. Since we want to remove the paranasal sinus, we want to select those areas here. For this, we need to make a selection by clicking with the right mouse button into the field that we want to have removed. Then we go to the button Add Seed. As you can see, the black area was turned gray. Good. So now to our next seed. Here and enter. With the slider we can always go back and forth and look for other sinews that we want to have removed, and there we see some more. And we also have the option to do it with an auto add seed. Just click this box here, and every time you now right click into one of the black areas, it would automatically will be turned gray, which we can also see in the different areas and pictures or images. If we misclicked or made a wrong selection, we can undo our error with the undo or back button here. Important to mention is that in the current version of Flowgy, it is only possible to go one step back. So if you already did 2 clicks wrong, the only way you can undo it is by going to the workflow area and go again to Recognize and do the selection again. Everything we have done until now could also be done in the sagittal or in the coronal view. We have been working only in the actual view now. But all the selections could have also been made in the coronal, for example here, which is not one but Just an example. And also we could have done it in the sagittal view. Now, as a next step, we have to go back to our workflow area and go to the button Do Sinews. This will activate the areas we have previously selected. Now we can see that the areas we selected are grayed out, so they will not be processed by the CFD solver anymore. Perfect. Also, you can see that only the gray areas are in the range we selected. So if we go out of our range from the images, this box goes red, so this is not really affected anymore. We are now in the green area where it's affected, and we go out again here. After this, we can save our file as a new nasal cavity in Flowgy, which is done by clicking the Save button, naming our case. In this case, I will just name it 001 for the easy part. Click New and also accept it. As you can see here in our main page, we have saved it as a nasal cavity, and this is how to remove Paranasal Sinuses in Flowgy.